Welcome to my computer laboratory. So this filter has a cutoff filter, frequency, and a resonance. So if I'm just doing like this VCO all the way minimum resonance.
So the filter, is it everything before or everything after?
Yeah, this is a low pass filter, which means it filters out the high frequencies. So this is just noise.
Right.
And I guess the noise depends on the input. So when I turn it to resonance all the way, it just resonates. It resonates at the filter cutoff.
And the VCO, like these things are what? Is this power? Or?
No, these are oscillators.
Okay.
So let me turn this down.
Oh, so there's like a square wave?
Yeah. So,
okay.
So this is just an oscillator. If I have it turned up all the way, which I'm gonna turn it down because it's fucking loud. It's a square wave.
Oh, okay.
You can turn it into a triangle wave, a sawtooth wave, or a sine wave.
Okay.
And then VCO3. VCO3 is a triangle wave.
Oh, that's really cool to break it up.
Yeah. This is acting. Okay, this is actually something interesting. This is acting as a low frequency oscillator. So this thing goes all the way down, I think, to 0.03 hertz, maybe. But in any case, at the lowest possible frequency, this acts as a low frequency oscillator. And so what it's doing is it's modulating the volume of the rest of it. So it's like it's adding this very slow sawtooth wave that I guess is like fucking around with the sound of the wave. I just made a discovery.
Yeah.
So these switches actually determine which line of frequency is being used.
Oh, okay.
So at this point, it's like the lowest frequency is 10 hertz, but if you put it down, then if you flip it down, the lowest frequency is once every like 30 seconds, I think. Let me see if I.
It almost matches the melody.
Yeah, it's going to be impossible to get it to be exact. So this all says FM control, which indicates to me that like this is doing frequency modulation.
Oh, so it's not amplitude, but it's like frequency. Okay.
Yeah, it's frequency modulation, but I guess it's like this is based on the ADSR pattern, which is so I guess like we should probably start basic real quick. If I turn this down. So, ADSR here is like attack, decay, sustain, release. Are you familiar with this?
Sort of.
Okay. So, no attack, no release, all sustain.
Okay. Yeah,
so you hear it clicking because it just like the oscillator is always oscillating at all times, and this just determines the volume of the oscillator as it outputs. So maximum sustain. If I turn it down all the way, you don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Decay time, sustain is for like you decide the level, and then decay is how fast it goes from maximum back down to the sustain level. If I do this, it just decays all the way down to 0. If I do this,
all right,
and then releases the amount of time after you let go of the key of how it goes back down to 0. So if I do this, and it does that. And so attack, just the amount of time it goes up to the maximum volume, which is, so if I turn up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
No attack, it's like it automatically goes up. It increases the time for it to go up.
Yeah.
Okay.
When a note is sustained and you have this going somewhere, it's adding however many volts is the sustained voltage to the current input.
Oh, I put negative.
I think that's appropriate. So the ring modulation, I think it like does like I don't know, it's a circuits thing. You probably know better than I would.
I'm like 6 years removed from that, sir.
That's true. But it's like something about stuff and things. It takes the sum and the difference of the two frequencies of VCO1 and VCO2.
I see.
You can change it to also take in the inputs of a different way. So you can take VCO3 and plug it in here, and it'll do something different, maybe. Apparently not. Fuck me, I guess. Oh, that's right, the resonance. Maybe the resonance was what was making it impossible to hear anything. Ooh. That's the ring modulator sound.
Alright, try to patch it now.
Okay, yes. There we go.
Yes. Perfect. Alright, how do we make this more noisy?
Oh, more noisy? That'll do first. Ooh, now we're at the beach. Ooh! So this is controlling the filter now.
Okay.
And it sounds awful. It sounds horrible.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, and the waveform is really shitting itself. Look at that. And you can set the frequencies to anything, but I'm gonna give you a low E. That's not it. One thing you could do is tune this like a fifth up, or tune it to B instead of E, or tune it to A or some other thing. But you can use it as a low frequency oscillator to like modulate other shit.
Alright.
Like what you can do is like, well, that's one thing you can do, and then you can take this as the FM control for this. That's just the Now we're getting into the 1970s. Oh boy! Now that's getting wild. Let's see what happens when you... Ooh, that's overwhelming.
See, this one's a sample hold out.
Yeah. But
Does that even do anything?
I don't know. I don't know how this whole thing works at all. There's also some weird shit like voltage processors. I don't know what that is at all. It's like these are two things that I want to figure out at some point, but not right now. One thing I guess you could fuck with is like, give me a Pikachu. Like maybe what you can do is like take this and maybe put it through here, and then hopefully this doesn't sound like garbage. Oh, this is minus 10 volts, and then plus 10 volts. I mean, it does something, but like not. And then envelope follower. Increase lag time, I guess. This thing is so fucking cool though, right?
Yeah. So I mean, now we can actually fiddle with these things.
Yeah. So do you want to use the keyboard now, or what?
Yeah, that's what you and Whiskey did last time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How about this?
Yeah.
And then you can change the rate.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's sample and hold. And then you can use different things to change what the sample and hold situation is. Okay, now I know what that is. Good shit. And that's just a power tool.